There is a specific satisfaction in dropping a heavy, laser-engraved piece of metal onto a table just to see who notices. We spend hours comparing bonuses and debating tier lists, all to maximize a point system that feels like a game we can actually win. Every swipe carves out a 3% fee. We assume Visa and Mastercard hoard this money. In reality, they're just software middlemen. The swipe fee actually bypasses them, dropping directly into the vaults of the issuing institutions, America's 4 largest banks. To keep those fees flowing, banks have turned the industry into a game. They use the allure of travel points to convince consumers to swipe as often as possible, transforming what is essentially a payment fee into a shiny, gamified lure. This points game is a highly engineered illusion. It's a system rigged by a hidden cartel of America's largest banks to ensure they remain the primary profiters of every transaction. For a major bank, the credit card is a dream asset, an unregulated microloan. Unlike mortgages or auto loans, which are tethered to federal interest rates, banks can charge 25% interest on a tiny credit line with almost no overhead. Through the 1990s and 2000s, the banking strategy relied on sticks. Banks trapped consumers with hidden penalties, confusing payment due dates, and set-in rate hikes, designed to artificially inflate debt balances. The 2008 recession brought an end to that era. Widespread defaults led the Obama administration to pass the Card Act of 2009, a regulatory crackdown that effectively destroyed the industry's predatory penalty-based business model. Facing thin margins, the industry pivoted to carrots. This graphic shows the invention of virtual currencies, points, that cost the banks nothing to generate, but act as a powerful incentive for consumers to maintain high balances. Banks now buy loyalty miles from airlines in massive bulk discounts, injecting cash into the travel industry to secure these rewards. They maintain total control over the real-world value of these points, adjusting the price of a flight or hotel stay whenever they need to protect their margins. These reward points function as a psychological trap. They are mathematically engineered to manufacture the same high-interest debt that the law previously banned banks from forcing onto consumers. If the banks extract all the profit, it raises a question of why Visa and Mastercard continue to take the public and political heat for swipe fees. But the real answer lies in their origin. Visa and Mastercard began as spin-offs created directly by the major banks to serve as their technological middlemen and public-facing shields. This unspoken agreement allows the networks to handle the technology and absorb the political beatings, while the banks exclusively funnel trillions of dollars through their pipes. This duopoly proved impossible for competitors to break. American Express held a massive lead in prestige during the 1980s, but they fell out of favor once the big banks began subsidizing Visa and Mastercard's network to offer lower fees to merchants. Today, the independent networks are economically trapped. Discover is forced to serve subprime borrowers with high default risks, while American Express is stuck with responsible, high-earning users who pay off their balances every month and generate zero interest. True market competition is dead in this space. The big 4 banks control both the supply of consumers and the very tracks the money runs on. The cartel's power is most obvious when a real threat emerges. Recently, buy now, pay later startups gained ground by aiming to intercept consumer interest payments before they ever hit a credit card statement. The Big 4 responded with a ruthless squeeze. They banned cardholders from using credit to pay for these services and cloned the features into their own apps to push the startups out of the financial system. Congressional hearings targeting Visa and Mastercard are little more than political theater. They focus on the middlemen while ignoring the true architects of the system, the banks, who were noticeably absent from these inquiries. Breaking up this structure is a political impossibility. These massive banks hold leverage over the entire global financial system, making them too big to fail and too influential to be singled out by regulation. The credit card ecosystem is a multi-decade behavioral conditioning machine. Consumers are encouraged to enthusiastically gamify their own debt, ensuring that in this system, the house always wins.